Today on the channel, we're rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling with two new big rubber guys for the collection. This time with Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Big Rubber Guys unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got something extra special, a tag team we really don't get a whole lot of in the Rock and Roll Express. But for all your Rock and Roll Express Big Rubber Guy needs, better hit up collectmajor.com. That's where you order your Big Rubber Guys. I believe these are sold out, but you never know what might happen. Maybe they'll have some stock available. We'll see what happens there. But of course, the Rock and Roll Express, one of the most famous tag teams of all time, not just the 80s, but of all time, of course. Really like the Rockers before the Rockers in a lot of ways. And I wouldn't say I was the biggest Rock and Roll Express fan, but I respected the Rock and Roll Express. I didn't get to see them in their heyday. I got to see, obviously, through tape trading and stuff later on. But I didn't live through the craziness of the Rock and Roll Express. And I think really my first remembrance of them was maybe Ricky Morton teaming with like JYD and Paul Orndorff and stuff around that kind of time as a little kid. And then him turning into with the York Foundation. You remember Ricky Morton in the York Foundation when Robert Gibson, I think, was out injured. And then, of course, the reunion of the Rock and Roll Express, their time in the WWF, which probably most people like to forget about. But the Rock and Roll Express, though, if you go back before the times I was mentioning, an amazing set of matches with pretty much every great tag team of the 80s. Never forget their stuff against the Horsemen. And I always enjoyed their stuff, obviously, against the Midnight Express. But a lot of fun stuff with the Rock and Roll Express over the years. And very cool to get these two figures in the Big Rubber Guy style, because really feels like back in the day, if, you know, the NWA or Crockett was getting Big Rubber Guy style figures, LJN style figures, you know these two would have been on the market for sure. There's no doubt about it. So fun to get these all these years later. And in some ways, in a roundabout way, correcting a wrong. Of course, you guys know I'm just a classics guy at the end of the day. And I go back to the Jakks Classic Superstars series once upon a time. You can check out my book, of course, The Complete Guide to the Classic Superstars series, on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, available right now. Or check out my Classic Superstars videos on this YouTube channel, probably hundreds of those at this point here. Plenty more to come, of course, backlog in my YouTube stuff. Patreon gets those early, as you guys know. But the Classic Superstars days, they messed up the hair colors on the two figures, and that was our first ever Rock and Roll Express figures. Probably the biggest error of the Classic Superstars years, if you ask me. Now, all these years later, getting this fixed here. So very happy about that. Now, next up should be Power Town. Todd and Farland, do we talk about it? No, we shouldn't talk about it. Power Town Remco versions of the Rock and Roll Express should be coming. I don't know. I'm not going to hold my breath at this point here. But one thing we're going to do for sure, and we do it in every single video, is how we do this review. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And we're going to start it off with Mr. Robert Gibson. Of course, a guy with a hog that's legendary, as we do know as well. And some call him as Hoot. They call him Hoot. I never understood that either. I guess hootin' leads to hollering, and that's what Robert Gibson's up to there. But he's throwing up the I love you brother sign. He's rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling like a young KP over here as well. Looking very good. I do like Robert Gibson and Ricky Morton, though. The Rock and Roll Express, just a lot of fun, especially in this day and age, watching back. It's one of those things you didn't appreciate it as a kid, maybe, if you were like me, as much as you could have. But definitely very cool here. But usual packaging style, we know it by now. On the back, look at that cross sell. Unbelievable how many figures are in this set for that Big Rubber Guys have released so far. But here we go. We're getting old Robert Gibson out of the package, I think. There we go. A little bit tight, and that's how Robert likes it, of course, as we know. Unfortunately, the title belt slipped out, but there is tape in there to kind of hold it in, but it did slip out for me. Can I get Hoot out of the package? What do you know? I did right there. Geez, throwing stuff around. Maybe. And I do keep my packaging on these, and it's getting very tight in the packaging department. We've got so many Big Rubber Guys the last couple of years. See you later off to the side there. Now, we do get the tag team title belts here, and I guess you could use these with Tully and Arn if you want to in the future. You can use these with different people if you need to, but it is tag team title belts. World Wrestling Champions is all it says on here. A little bit generic, but not as generic as the old school LJN ones, that's for sure. So looking nice there. I'm here for that. I don't know why I'm throwing it over there. I'll put it right over here. How about? But now we're diving into old Robert Gibson, and Robert Gibson looking interesting here. He's got that look on his face. They even got the one eye off to the side, so shout out to that. Looking good. Love the IU Love You brother hand here. Just rock and roll all day long. You got the handkerchief tied around, of course, the wrist there. The Rockers later adopted that. Marty and Sean, of course. Rock and Roll Express shirt looking very good. There's Ricky and Robert. Likes the looks of that. He's got the handkerchief around his neck. He's got some on his waist. All kinds of stuff. You got Rock on one side and Roll on the other side if you need it. Got some zebra action going on. Got the white boots there. Fist Fury down there as well. Looking pretty good. All rights reserved. 2024 Major Bendies. There was some delays with these, as we do know as well. A little bit smaller figure, but the Rock and Roll Express, not the biggest guys in the world. And I always do say, okay, if I'm a little Kyle playing with my LJNs, would I have enjoyed this Robert Gibson? Would I have been able to do a lot of moves? Would it have been a good playing figure? More towards the middle on this one. You got a little bit of movement here for some DDTs and stuff like that. You can do the eye pokes with the hands if you need to. But it does have some advantages to play with this one. Maybe not as iconic as some of the other ones, but still not bad, all things considered. And I was going to say, is he going to stand on his own? Uh-oh, I don't like that. That's one thing I would say for the upcoming Mattel LJNs and the Big Rubber guys. Whatever they can do, they got to be able to make these guys stand on their own. That was one thing that held back the LJNs a little bit. This one, I've seen some that stand better than this, and I've seen some that stand worse, of course. But this is a little bit tougher to get to stand. So he might be one you might have to lean in your display or get a stand for him. Choose your own adventure. But there's old Hoot himself, Robert Gibson. Now we're turning it over to Ricky Morton, and Ricky Morton's still wrestling like every single weekend. Robert kind of dabbles. We'll call it dabbles in wrestling, but Ricky's still out there taking Canadian destroyers and giving them a time or two as well. Looking good, uniform packaging style. There's old Ricky Morton looking like a Ricky Morton could look on the package. Looking good all around. Big Rubber guys, of course, on the back. Same cross sell going on. We know how that goes as well. But we're going to pull him out. We're going to whip out my Ricky Morton. And his son, Kerry Morton, running wild all over the place. He wrestles for a local indie fed in my area all the time. And I get Ricky out very tight in these bubbles here. Not moving out of there, not falling out of there. That is for sure. Stick this over here. A gentle off to the side. See you later. Once again, I do save my packaging there. Same tag team title. Obviously, you got to have two titles. Obviously, they're going to be the same. Get the most out of your molds. Works for me. But now we got Ricky Morton out of the package. And let's see what's going on here. Got that blonde hair looking extra poofy there. He's really rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling in the 1980s, no doubt about it. Looking good, though. He's got blue eyes there. The eyes may be a little close together, but that's nitpicky if there ever was. You got Ricky and Robert on the shirt there. Got the white shirt there cut up and stuff. He's really rocking and rolling. Got the handkerchiefs like Robert Gibson. Got a lot of the same stuff. And are these the same lower half bodies? Looks to be the same right here. I'm looking at it. Maybe a little. No, they're different. I thought they were the same. Some of the sculpting's a little bit different here. It is just a hair different. So close but different. So I do appreciate that because they should be relatively uniform, relatively the same size and everything. And it looks like you got the same lower half, but it isn't quite the case on that one there. So that is a little different. He's got the I love you hand on the other hand this time. Got the Fist of Fury on the other one. But looking good. This one is a little better playing wise if you're a little kid playing with them. A little bit more out of this one here. But still definitely works. And man, this would have been a nice injection into my childhood fig fed back in the LJN days if the Rock and Roll Express were here. Unfortunately, both of them kind of have that back lean, though. They're going to be tough to stand. They got small feet. A little bigger on the feet department would have been nice for these guys. Ooh, the power of magic on the Big Rubber guys, getting them to stand right there. So there it is, Ricky and Robert, the Rock and Roll Express. So cool to get these in the collection. And I really enjoy all the Big Rubber guys for the most part, but the ones I really enjoy the most is the NWA, WCW stuff that would have been running right alongside LJN back in the day. Really fun to use your imagination to think. And now there's a lot of guys I'd still like to get. I'd personally love to get an Ole Anderson. I'd also love a Nikita and Ivan Koloff. I think that would be a lot of fun from the Big Rubber guys. Sky's the limit who they can't sign, I guess. But we'll see where it goes in the future a little bit more. But I do got a tag team, the dream match of the 80s that happened once. I remember in my tape trading days, a lot of people excited for that match. It was the British Bulldogs versus the Rock and Roll Express. The British Bulldogs were a little bit injured in that one. Davey had to carry most of the load as Dynamite was pretty banged up. But it was cool to see like a dream matchup once upon a time. And we got that with the British Bulldogs with the Rock and Roll Express. So a lot of fun, a lot of stuff you can do with these guys in your collection, no doubt about it. And cool to get a Rock and Roll Express tag team set after, I don't know, 20 years probably, almost around there. So very fun. And now Power Town's on the clock, as we said earlier there. But there it is. Ricky and Robert, the Rock and Roll Express. What's your guys' thoughts on these? Worth the pickup? Pass? Long game? No game? Not so sure game? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Subscribe to the channels, 2 YouTube channels with content every single day. Check it out if you have not already. Patreon, YouTube channel memberships if you even want more content. And of course, SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, and of course, TikTok as well. Don't forget TikTok. I almost did. The Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com is my email, and the Kyle Peterson Show is my podcast each and every single Tuesday, wherever podcasts are found, with videocast on YouTube. So for the Rock and Roll Express, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?
Get that real